Alright guys, here we go, back at it again, another 8th edition battle report. You guys wanted some more terrain out on the battlefield, so I made a couple pieces of terrain, some cut felt, some aquarium plants. So as you can see, they're kind of spread out across the battlefield. We have a couple patches of mysterious forests, and we also have some water features, some mysterious swamps or marshes or whatever you want them to be. Just cut with some foam boards, some spray paint, some shiny protectant to kind of make them look like water a little bit. You see that? Kind of sexy. Alright, well anyways, I'm trying a different list from what I usually take for Lizardmen, so let's go ahead and check out what we got. We have 10 Skink Skirmishers, 28 Saurus Warriors, Hand Weapon Shield, Full Command, 20 Saurus Warriors, Hand Weapon Shield, Full Command, another 20 Hand Weapon Shield, Full Command, Saurus Warriors, 10 Skink Skirmishers, 6 Chameleon Skinks that are normal skinks, and I put some green stuff on there to make them look like chameleon skinks. And I have 2 Skink Priests on foot. One has Comet of Cassandora and Urnon's Thunderbolt. The other one has the signature spell, and the third one, which is the reroll 6s or whatever. So let's go over to the Demons, see what the Demons player has.
Flamers of Zinch, 6 of them. Plague Bears, 25 of them, full command. Herald of Corn inside of them to give them magic resistance. Bloodletters, 25 of them, full command. And a Herald of Zinch in there for some magic and some protectant. And then 5 Corn Dogs over there, just doing business.
Alright, well this is 1,250 points versus 1,250 points. So, Demon player rolled to see who goes first. He won, so he's going to take the first turn. We'll get right back to you after that. Alright, well you guys are probably looking over the battlefield, seeing how nothing has changed, except 1 Chameleon Skink has died. Demon player chose not to move up any of his forces, and just shoot his flamers into the Chameleon Skinks, but only 1 died, so it's about to be the Lizardman player turn. Not really too much to report that turn. He skipped his movement phase, skipped his magic phase, did shooting, and went straight to my phase. So I don't know if it has to do with it's midnight right now and he's a little bit tired, or this is all just part of his master scheme. We're about to find out the Lizardman player turn 1. Alright guys, well back to the game. Lizardman player just had his turn. That's me. Basically moved everything up on my side. Not really too scared about those flesh hounds. Last edition they were kind of nasty, but I've got a lot of ranks of Saurus over there. That squad's going to be interesting, but I think my Saurus could go up against him. The big squad, not the smaller squad, because he's got 25. They could probably take this closer squad of 20. So I'm going to have to start making some decisions over on that side of the field. This turn I also moved up my Chameleon Skinks. They shot over there, didn't do any wounds. Moved up everything on this side of the field, and he blocked Urnon's Thunderbolt, but you see that dice right there, just holding the place of where my Comet of Cassandora is going to come down. So hopefully that does a little bit of damage. Those flamers have 2 wounds each, which is kind of ridiculous. So we'll see what goes down. It's about to be the Demons player turn. Alright, we'll get back to Hey guys, Demon player finally decided to move some of his units. Corn Dogs moved up. They turned a little bit. Also his magic was unsuccessful. He's taking the Lore of Death. And which spells do you have? The signature spell and Soul Blight? He didn't get anything off. The Plague Bears turned to the side. They're all facing this way now. And Comet of Cassandora did not come down this turn, but he moved his flamers back to try to get out of the way. He also did kill 1 more Chameleon Skink, but those guys do not want to die. So yeah, Lizardman player turn, here we go. This turn saw the Lizardman advancing even farther upon the demonic horde. Souls! Alright, but anyways, got my skinks up here, kind of distracting his Corn Dogs. Kind of also to help prevent some flank stake over here on my Saurus. But they ended up killing one of their corn dogs too with their blowpipes, which was kind of nice. As you can see, things are getting pretty tight over here. It's probably about 7 inches, 8 inches between these two. So we might see some combat either this turn or next turn. Chameleon skinks moved up. All my other skinks moved up. Also, another Comet of Casandora. I rolled horribly for magic. I rolled a 2 and a 1, so I threw all my dice at a Comet of Casandora. So there's 2 comets out here. There's the one that I casted the first turn that still has not came down, and it has 2 additional tokens on it. And then there's the one that I just casted. So it's going to be interesting to see if that does any damage, if it comes down. Chances are, so far, they're off in the corner. The only things that's going to hit are those. So it's going to be the Daemons player turn. Here we go. Game on. Alright, well, we got into some combat here. One of the comets came down, did 1 wound on a flamer. Flamer shot and killed my mage priest. I had Comet of Casandora and Uranon Thunderbolt, so no more offensive magic for me. These plague bearers turned. Over here, there's some interesting stuff that happened. Sorry, we didn't rank these guys up. Doesn't really matter, but Fleshhounds won in combat, no surprise, but my skinks lost by, what was it, 5 or something? 4. They lost by 4, so I needed double 1s, and I rolled double 1s for leadership, so they stayed. Over here, I lost combat by 5, and I rolled double 1s, so they stayed in combat too. So 2 leadership tests this phase that I rolled double 1s on. My guys are kind of pissed off. They don't want to run. He got a pretty nasty magic spell off. All enemy units within 24 inches lose their strength and a toughness. So that was really damaging. That lasts until the start of his next magic phase too. So these 3 Saurus Warrior squads are still under the effect of that, which is not too much fun. So yeah, we're about to start my next turn. Here we go. A lot of dead units over here, as you can see. These are some of my Lizardmen that have died. The comet came down, but wasn't in range of attacking anybody. Skink shot at the flamers, killed one of the flamers, put a wound on another one. Saurus here. We had a little discussion on if the Saurus charged, if they'd hold or not, or if they'd break in one turn, but they held. Like I said, they were still under the -1 strength, -1 toughness from one of his spells. Over here, I charged him, ended up losing combat by 1 because the squad pretty much got raped right here. I think 7 guys died from that squad. No, 1 died from there, 7 died from here.
1 died, and then my guy.
Yeah. And also, the Fleshhounds killed a couple skinks over here and ended up doing a combat reform or whatever after they won. Ate them all up. So now it's about to be Daemons player turn. Here goes. Alright, well this turn, Corn Dogs charge this block of Saurus. And they died. Bloodletters in between those 2 squads of Saurus. There's 1 left, and his Zinch hero. Over here, he flank charged me with his flamers, and these guys are still in combat with the plague bearers, getting whittled down. And they were at -6 leadership. And I want you guys to remember last turn how I passed 2 Snake Eyes leaderships. I want you guys to look at this. Once again, cold-blooded leadership saves the day. So it's my 3rd when I needed it, Snake Eyes leadership, back to back to back. So it's about to be Lizardmen player's turn again. We'll get back to you guys right after that. Alright, well this turn, the Bloodletter and the Zinch hero died in that squad. So the Saurus won down there. Over here, these Saurus lost combat and got overrun by the Flamers, so they caught them down. It's about to be the Demon player turn. We're going to do 1 more turn here. So right after that, we'll get back to you guys. We'll take a look at the battlefield, see how everything's looking, everything's shaping up here at the end. So we'll get back to you. Alright, well this turn, Flamers shot off one of those skink skirmishers over there. Also, he charged my my skink priest, and he did not run away fast enough from a bunch of plague bearers, so he got caught and died. So this is going to be the last turn. As you can see right now, it's 1:13. We've been actually breezing through this game. It's a lot quicker than the other ones we've played, but getting a little tired. This is going to be the last phase. Doesn't look like the swords are going to do anything over there, so all comes down to these guys over here. Here we go, last turn. Alright, doobies. Game's over. Killed one flamer. Like I said, there wasn't going to be much this turn. We're just finishing up. We counted it up. Just barely small Lizardmen victory. Real interesting. We used the mysterious terrain and stuff for any of you that were wondering. This is the Venom Thicket. This was the Venomous Water. None of the other terrain was touched over there, so we can't tell you what those are. Those are still mysterious. Maybe next time we'll let you guys know. So, small Lizardmen victory. Interesting match. Swords kind of suck when you reduce their strength and toughness when you're facing demons. So, Lore of Death, still really good against Lizardmen, I feel. So, yeah. Interesting game. You guys wanted some more terrain, so we put some terrain in for you. If you guys have any more suggestions, just let us know. Good match. Pleasure playing with you. So, yeah. We're going to be putting some more videos up here soon, so sorry about the delay recently. Just had school, work, you know, girls.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. So anyways, stay in touch, keep in touch, watch our videos. Peace.